in male-dominated fields is one of the go-to arguments to use to justify the gender pay gap. And like many of these so-called arguments, it's just not true. We've talked about how this shows up in high-paying fields like science, technology, math, and we've talked about how it shows up in the skilled trades like construction. Now, this new reporting from the New York Times about long-haul trucking is just the latest example. Long-haul trucking can be a difficult but financially rewarding job, with this reporting finding that truckers can make around $50,000 a year, with experienced drivers making much more without needing a college degree. But as has been documented in other male-dominated fields, women remain disproportionately blocked from even accessing these positions. This story specifically is about women who have filed a discrimination complaint against a trucking company for its same-sex training policy. Same-sex training policies that require female job candidates to only be trained by other females have been ruled unlawful, but many companies still practice these policies to avoid claims of sexual harassment, as trainers often spend many days or weeks alone with trainees on the road, often sleeping in the same cab. So because of a history of abuse and harassment perpetrated by men on women, these companies will not sufficiently train and then hire women, because they don't already employ enough women to train them, perpetuating the cycle of not hiring women, keeping them out of the industry, and effectively making it impossible for them to increase their representation in these jobs, all the while complaining that there's a shortage of workers willing to even take these jobs, along with these gender pay gap deniers blaming women for their own underrepresentation. The myth that women aren't...
Okay. One of the first things that I want to point out is the classic not knowing or just ignoring the fact that something doesn't have necessarily have to exclude the other. You can have this type of situation going on while simultaneously have a under representation of women who want to go into something like trucking. Like, I'm pretty sure if you look up the numbers, and this could be me putting my foot right in my mouth, I'm pretty sure you will see a lot more women going, or not even going after, but also employed in the day-to-day trucking, mean like local, and they go home every day. I'm pretty sure you will see more women in that than in long-haul trucking, because it's just more desirable for everybody. Also, she did what I myself would consider a bait and switch, or just a flat out gaslight. Is she said perpetual abuse from men to women. No. I'm sure that has happened, but here's the thing. In order for you, it sounds like in order for you to get over this, you would have to just flat out just hire women without the proper training. The field is already being looked at as trash because people don't get the proper training. So now you bring people in with even less training, they're going to be even worse. So what you are in a way asking for is for women to be put out on the road in which they could set themselves up for failure, which in trucking could equal death of not only themselves but other people who share the road with them. Also, let's see here what she says. Give me a second. I read in the comment section where I'm pretty sure she would agree is that you would rather something about holding men accountable. You'd rather not hire women or avoid hiring women to hold them accountable than to hold men accountable. Sorry. Here's the issue. In order to hold them accountable, you already have these trainings about sexual harassment that take place in the workplace, everywhere. You have to have the situation happen, and then like fire them or put them in jail, so on and so forth. So you're still not eliminating the harassment that happens. It still has to happen, and then you have to spend money on that situation. So yes, it is better to just not hire the women. You would have to put in there with a male trainee. Now, if you had more women who got into the field, then you would obviously solve the problem. But yes, that means it's going to be very hard for you to overturn this number. But that's not some weird or thing. That's not something you can put on society and go, you guys hate women or aren't trying and blah, blah, blah. Like, shit has to be dramatically changed. And for what? people who say they don't want to pay bills anyway. Oh my God, that's stupid. Newsflash. Sometimes shit just works out not in your favor. It just doesn't. If you understand what trucking is, and far as the trainee part, as she said in the video, you would have to, there's one bunk and then there's a bunk below it. Like she said, weeks at a time. Matter of fact, I told a story before in a video years ago. When I was going through the trucking school, one of the chicks there was bad. Like, she was nice. She was the typical Darcy and thick, curvy, wobbly booty, so on and so forth. And she even, where I heard in the conversation she had with a friend, she said when she goes over the road, she wants to be partnered with somebody with swag. I.e., she wants to be partnered with somebody she can fuck around with. Jobs, period, don't want you doing this. Why? Because when shit goes wrong, remember, you're out on the road. Your girl already has problems with getting out of the car and saying, fuck you, nigga, I'm leaving. Right? So now you got two people in this cab fucking. And if shit goes wrong, her station, her destination, that her hometown is in fucking Miami. She gets into a beef with this guy because of whatever the fuck, text message or whatever. She decides to jump ship out in Portland. How you get it back? Now he got to do this team run solo. Or now you got, again, a lawsuit. You got a whole plethora of problems. This, if I own a trucking company that's over the road, yeah, unless I have someone to train you, I don't want to mix the genders in the fucking truck. Y'all don't want to be trained by old guys. I.e. this chick I just said. She wants somebody with swag, not somebody who's old or whatever. Y'all don't even want to be trained by men. So unless you are asking to just mass hire women with no experience to train other women for experience, this is stupid. Yet again, you're complaining about a problem that the only way to fix it is to do something fucking ridiculous. You know what? How about you and all the other women who got money that y'all say I got? How about y'all start y'all own businesses and all that shit and hire a bunch of women? Why does that never happen? And this is not a sexist thing either. I say the same shit to black people. All these handouts that we ask for, you got a bunch of people that claim they bosses, own business, but hire your own. How about it? Go to Oprah, tell her to start a trucking company, hire a bunch of women, see how it works out. You can still hire men, but do the thing that you're claiming and just keep holding them accountable. Just hold them accountable. Go look on YouTube. It's a bunch of chicks that got their own trucking company. Go tell them. Hire a bunch of women. Go tell them. Like, you're complaining about a problem that, quite actually, now that I think about it, isn't even a problem. Because, like I said, there are women who own their own trucks. Tell them to put women in them. Even though it should technically be illegal, I wouldn't even complain. Tell the women who own their own trucks to put you and other women in the trucks. Problem solved. Right? Let's go to the comments. And I actually want to type this out. You know, there are plenty of women who own or lease trucks. Tell them to hire nothing but women. And here's how you know how lazy I am. I actually wanted to put hire and train, but we're not backspacing that. Here we go. Here we go. A classic. I'm on your side. I mean, like, I'm an electrician. There are lots of women in my field. The only reason women don't get into these trades, I'm assuming, as often by how shitty they are treated by their male counterparts. I would like to see an example because that sounds like he has the mindset that men just treat each other so blissfully. That sounds like that's what he thinks. And that couldn't be farther from the fucking truth. Now, we don't go around just spitting in each other's face, but we're not the nicest people of all time. Like stop it. Fucking stop. Alright? I said I wouldn't look at response. Fuck it, I'm here. The White Knight, leave her alone, head ass. I think he meant alone. That back and forth is stupid. Moving on. Have they considered just not sexually harassing and abusing their women trainees? Because accusations don't just come from nowhere. Well, sometimes they do. This is stuff like that is the equivalent to I don't know what y'all hear, but it goes in one ear and out the other with me. Because now I just don't even want to hear it. The idea that women don't just lie. They don't. There are no women who are bad people or people who do bad things. No women exist like that. So we must every accusation like this, we must just treat like the truth, right? No trial. What's the trial for? She's telling the truth. We should just, whatever she says, that's what happened. He grabbed her by the pussy. Definitely happened. He raped her while she was asleep. Definitely happened. No need for a jury trial, anything, right? Okay. You don't belong here. Girls aren't smart enough for this. What the fuck? Our same generation, I've never heard that. I've never heard somebody say girls aren't smart enough for the Air Force. I'm not even sure what the IQ needs to be in the Air Force. Nobody does. So applaud to you, I guess. I don't think they'd say that to you because you're a girl. Ah, yes. Let's protect women by excluding them instead of holding men accountable. Okay, like I said, um, that actually makes sense, smart ass. Actually, now that I think about it, to protect children from being like stampede and like I don't know certain shit, you exclude them from the adults doing that very thing, whatever it is, and then you have like your little league or what the fuck ever. That's one way you can protect anybody is to exclude them from something. That dummy. That's how protection works sometimes. Literally. And like I said, the holding men accountable, you'd actually have to hold the man accountable who does it, which means it's already happened. You're just putting him on trial now. That's how you hold someone accountable who assaults someone. That's how it happens. And yes, I know, but some get away with it. No shit. Some thieves get away with it. Some murderers get away with it. Some pedophiles get away with it. If you're not there seeing it for yourself, it is not always an easy thing to get a conviction. That's not how reality works. It's not, well, I experienced something, therefore he should get locked up. Bitch, we don't know. We weren't there. And this idea that, again, like the guy at the top, that you're just going to get hordes of men, well, you technically already kind of do, but to just get men in general to just fork over their right to trials and shit because of what you say, holy shit. That is the definition of entitlement if there is one. If trucking companies actively do not want to hire women, then they're sharing that trucking is dangerous for women because of the men who are already in that industry. Avoiding sexual harassment claims, more like not wanting to change the culture of a male-dominated field. Man, let's point one thing out. Modern trucking is exactly how it sounds, very modern. Okay? You still have a lot of old heads in trucking. Trucking, again, even though we have modern out, it seems so much nicer, which is why you have a lot of thought YouTube truckers, which annoys the hell out of me because they don't even talk about trucking. Um, Trucking can still be very brutal, a brutal type of thing. Again, now it's less lonely. It is less lonely now than what it used to be. But that's the origin. That's how trucking like is in a nutshell, right? Yes, you can. When you're over the phone, you can make phone calls. You can FaceTime people now. You can play Madden or Call of Duty with your headset on now. All of that shit. But to change the culture of trucking, what exactly is the culture? Are you saying that the culture is men raping women? Because that's offensive. Um, are you saying that the culture of trucking is disrespecting women? That's also offensive. Now, offensive doesn't make it not true, but yet again, that would be society that uses the worst of men to represent all of men, which not only offensive is just outright wrong. So please explain to me what the culture is that you're saying that they are not trying to change. Um, trucking has actually Trucking companies are now trying to keep people as close to home as possible so people can stop quitting. They're trying to change something. Trucking companies are now they're the way they accommodate people as far as the schooling goes. Look that up. They're trying to change something. They're getting APUs. When you look at job postings, they're no truck is more than 2 years old. They're trying to change something. But because they're not saying, hey, people who don't like paying bills, who will quit at who if you go on the road, you get pregnant, we can't that's another thing to account for that yeah, please come so we can hire hordes of you. That's stupid. That's stupid. Again, to ask for people to change something for you and accommodate everything about you is entitlement. The thing you say men should not have, but you should have it. Oh my God, stop. And yes, who the hell wouldn't want to avoid sexual harassment claims? So let's say a company like Prime, you want them to take more of a risk at getting sexual harassment put on their name for you so you can talk shit about them if they don't fix it fast enough once their name becomes associated heavily with sexual harassment. Oh my God, again, entitlement. My cousin was a truck driver and darn good at it. When she delivered a load to a cave, a man approached her semi on entering to ask if she needed him to park the truck because it was a tight fit. She declined, then proceeded to back the load in perfectly on her first try. She's since retired from driving but has continued to work as a trainer. The idea that women can't do the job is pure misogyny. Oh God. Oh God. So asking her, you know what, let's not do that. So he said the idea that women can do the job is pure hatred of women because that's the definition of misogyny. I would really like y'all to start using these words that y'all use as buzzwords, the definition instead of the word. So believing that women, let's just say that's me, right? Even though I have seen 4 women, I believe, at my company. Yeah, 1, 2, 3. We'll just go with 3 because I can't remember if there was a 4th. So seeing 3 women in my 5 years at my company who could, get behind the wheel and drive, a major part in trucking. Let's just say that's me. I just believe women can't do it. How the fuck does that mean I hate women? So it sounds like, because there is a reel that's going around that went semi-viral where the woman used the word misogyny but couldn't define it. I think that people really do believe nowadays, because nobody actually does any research or like even understand anything. I think a lot of people now think that misogyny simply means you don't applaud women at whatever the fuck they do. I think that's what people think misogyny means. No, you cannot hate someone and still not think that they're up to par with whatever the fucking standard would be. Like, that's very possible. Like, I don't meet a lot of Mexicans that play basketball. I'm quite sure a lot of them can, but let's just say because of that, I don't think Mexicans play basketball. And if I was captain, I would not pick the Mexican. Does that mean I hate Mexicans? Or does that mean I have my experience with Mexicans is they can't play ball. So I'm not gonna pick them up to lose. You said you delivered to a cave, and I think I know the quote unquote cave she's talking about. If you damage something, then that's probably a write-up, paperwork, or report they have to do. He's probably had to do a lot of reporting on women truckers. Or a lot of the time that he's seen a woman trucker, he's probably had to do a report. Last story, and then I'll move on. This guy said one of the people he trained was a woman. This was when I first got into trucking. And he said he got to a place, like he was like, like that's the spot right there. He said she looked at it and went, yeah, I can't do that. And he went, what? Well, that's the dock. You got to put it in the dock. Said, yeah, no, I can't do that. And she just didn't do it and quit. Is that most? I doubt it. But I think it's fair to say that he's probably seen one or two and went, fuck it, I'll back it in when they show up. I'm not doing this shit anymore. I'm not doing all these write-ups anymore. That's kind of fair. This guy just says there's no gender pay gap and they ignored him, rightfully so. Oh yes, and it can begin early on. I always had an interest for carpentry and DIY. And my father used to design and build furniture. Whenever I wanted to learn things, he'd say girls shouldn't be doing this stuff and just refuse to let me learn. I've done some projects myself as an adult and successfully, and wonder if I would have tried working as a carpenter profession if I had been encouraged from the start. You know what? How about this? If y'all want, specifically me, if y'all want me to do some weird voting thing where we just massively inject women into every field, all the good shit. I ain't gonna actually do the bad shit. All the good shit, right? Y'all have to start marrying incels. Just period. When y'all ready to do something for them, I'm ready to do something for you. I think that's a fair trade. You can't just go around asking for shit and then I think people will ask something back. So the day y'all start marrying incels, the day I say, hey, fuck it, just put her in her truck. Don't even train her. Matter of fact, train her while she's driving on the road with other people. You got my vote. So marry an incel. How does this prove the argument that men and women have different work preferences? Because simply saying that, hey, companies take precaution when hiring people to keep their overhead costs down, lawyers, other legal fees, etc. It simply means that women do want to massively go into other fields, but, patriarchy. How many more do we got? Holy shit. All right, I'm not going to read all of these. I'm going to read 2 more. Okay. Maybe my dad should start a driver training school for women because he has trained only a couple women while trucking and is also of the opinion that they are better at driving. So isn't that misandrous right there? Thinking women are better drivers than men? Why do you hate men thinking women are better drivers? I'd really like to see you talk about pink collar jobs and how we are grossly underpaid. I'm tired of hearing about white collar and blue collar jobs when the jobs that we are the majority, we are still underpaid. How so? I like for you to explain how so. And you do all realize that it's not just career path choices that is said to make up the pay gap. It is also taking time off work. Women brag about not leaving PTO on the floor. Like they take that shit en masse every year while they make fun of men for not taking it as much. Like literally, seriously. This was a joke years ago before COVID, non-stop. Don't you think employers look at that and go, she leaves quite a bit. He doesn't. I think I want to give, if I need to keep one of them and entice them to stay with a raise, it might be him. You don't think maybe that, like maybe that also is included in this? Nope, we just hate you hoes. That's right. All society just hate hoes, even though, other shit could be taken into consideration, but no, that's a lie. Alrighty. Okay. What else plays into this? Job choice, time off. Oh yeah, they also, and the last thing they said is the agreeableness, which sounds about accurate. I don't think I'm like really talented at all in any job I've ever had, but I quite often would get like a raise or consideration of something of the sorts. For example, like my job now, in like a 15-month span, they gave me 3 raises. I think mainly because I always tell them, I don't know. What do I tell them? Well, I think it's more so, the fuck do, I had a point here. Forgot it. Well, I think it's because I got a dick. Maybe that's it. Maybe I'm not as good of a negotiator as I thought. Well, I guess it's I had a smart ass comment. I'm horrible today. I had a smart ass comment to make. Damn it. Whatever. Be right. Not positive. I'm out.